Aduni had always believed that beauty was her ticket to the good life. At 22, with her perfectly curved figure and smooth dark skin that gleamed like polished ebony, she turned heads wherever she walked through the bustling streets of Lagos. But turning heads wasn't paying her bills, and Aduni was tired of struggling. While her friends woke up at dawn to hawk goods in traffic or work in offices for meager salaries, Aduni preferred to sleep in, scrolling through Instagram, admiring the luxury lifestyles of Lagos socialites. She dreamed of designer bags, expensive cars, and lavish parties in Victoria Island mansions. Because behind that beauty was laziness, greed, and a reckless love for easy money. Aduni, when will you find something meaningful to do with your life? Her mother would say sadly. Beauty fades, but hard work builds character. Abeg, leave me jare. I can't suffer like you people. I deserve enjoyment. Aduni would roll her eyes and go to her room, where she spent hours taking selfies and chatting with Kennedy, her boyfriend of 3 years. Kennedy was handsome with a charming smile, but worked as a mechanic in Alaba Market, earning just enough to take her for suya on Sundays. One day, I'll make enough money to give you everything you deserve, Kennedy would say. But Aduni could see the doubt in his eyes. He wanted the good life as much as she did, but lacked the ambition to chase it. Everything changed when she met Folake at a friend's wedding. Folake was everything Aduni aspired to be, dripping in gold jewelry, wearing expensive clothes, and speaking with the confidence that only money could buy. My dear, you're wasting your assets, Folake said, eyeing Aduni's figure appreciatively. With your looks, you could be living like a queen. Find yourself a mature man who can appreciate what you have. Within a week, Folake introduced Aduni to Chief Emeka Okafor, a 60-year-old businessman who owned a construction company and several properties across Lagos. Their first meeting was at the upscale Radisson Blu Hotel in Victoria Island. Chief Emeka was refined, well-dressed, and when he handed her 50,000 naira for transportation, after their lunch, Aduni's mind began racing with possibilities. That night, she told Kennedy about Chief Emeka and the money. 50,000 naira just for sitting and talking? Kennedy's eyes lit up with greed. Baby, that's more than I make in 2 months. I know, right? And Folake says he's really interested in me. Kennedy was quiet for a moment, then said something that surprised her. You should pursue this. What do you mean? I mean, look at our situation. I'm working my ass off and we still can't afford anything nice. This old man could change our lives. Aduni stared at him. Kennedy, are you saying what I think you're saying? I'm saying maybe you should consider all your options. Kennedy's voice was careful, calculating. Think about it. He's old, probably doesn't have much energy left, so he won't touch you in bed. You could marry him, get access to his wealth, and we could still be together on the side. Aduni had been thinking the same thing, but hadn't dared voice it. You would be okay with that? Me marrying another man? Kennedy shrugged. But she could see the excitement building in his eyes. If it means we finally get to live the life we've always wanted, baby, I'll do whatever it takes. We'll just have to be smart about it. When Aduni told her family about Chief Emeka, the reactions were explosive. Aduni, that man is old enough to be your grandfather, her mother shouted. What kind of life are you planning to build with someone who could die any day? But Kennedy was there to reinforce her resolve. Don't listen to them, he whispered during their secret meetings. They're just jealous because they never had the courage to reach for something better. This is our chance. Chief Emeka's courtship was swift and overwhelming. Every week brought new gifts, and Kennedy encouraged each one. See how much he's already spending on you? Kennedy would say, examining the latest jewelry or expensive handbag. Imagine when you're actually his wife. We'll be set for life. Kennedy even helped her plan how to manage the situation after marriage. You'll have your own room, right? We can find ways to meet. Rich men like him are always traveling for business. The wedding was a lavish affair that made headlines in Lagos social media. Aduni felt like a queen, but she noticed Kennedy watching from the back of the church, a strange smile on his face. Her family attended reluctantly, their faces masks of disapproval. Her best friend Bunmi whispered warnings, but Aduni ignored them all. Kennedy had convinced her this was their path to happiness. After the reception, Chief Emeka drove her to his mansion in Banana Island, a sprawling estate that looked like something from a movie. "Welcome to your new home, Mrs. Okafor," Chief Emeka said, carrying her over the threshold. That first night, Aduni's confidence shattered. Chief Emeka's genteel behavior disappeared the moment they entered the master bedroom. His eyes changed, becoming predatory, hungry. What followed was unlike anything Aduni had expected. Chief Emeka's appetite was insatiable, his stamina shocking for a man his age. He took her over and over, tirelessly, every second, every minute. He was a beast. When she protested that she was tired, he would laugh and pull her back. "You're my wife now. This is what wives do." By morning, Aduni could barely walk. This wasn't the gentle, brief encounter with an old man that she and Kennedy had anticipated. The pattern continued every night. After 2 weeks, Aduni was exhausted and desperate. Her phone calls to Kennedy became her only lifeline. "I can't do this anymore," she sobbed. "He's like an animal. I don't understand how he has so much energy." "Just hold on a little longer," Kennedy said. "We need to figure out how to access his money first. Then we can make our move." "Kennedy, I'm dying here. Can't we just take whatever we can and run? And give up millions for a few thousand? No way. We stick to the plan." It was Kennedy who suggested the poison. "I know someone who can get us something untraceable. It has to look natural. Heart attack, maybe." Kennedy obtained the poison and gave her detailed instructions. "Wait until he's asleep in his study. Just splash it on his face and run. Make sure you call me immediately after." On the chosen night, Aduni crept through the mansion's corridors, her heart pounding. The study door was slightly ajar, and she could hear deep breathing from within. She pushed the door open and stepped into the darkness. What she saw made her scream. Chief Emeka stood in the center of the room, draped in a blood-red wrapper, his arms raised toward the ceiling. Candles formed a circle around him, and strange symbols were drawn on the floor. He was chanting in a language she had never heard. His eyes snapped open and fixed on her, glowing with an unnatural light. "Well, well," he said, his voice carrying a different accent now, ancient and otherworldly. "My beautiful wife has come to visit." Aduni screamed loud, dropped the poison bottle, and ran. Her feet flew across the marble floors as she raced through the mansion's corridors, Chief Emeka's laughter echoing behind her. She reached the front door and grabbed the handle, pulling with all her strength. It wouldn't budge. Every door was sealed shut, every window barred. She was trapped. "Going somewhere, my dear?" Chief Emeka's voice drifted from behind her. She spun around to find him standing at the top of the staircase, still wrapped in that blood-red cloth, his eyes reflecting the moonlight like an animal's. "Let me go," Aduni screamed, pounding on the front door. "But you're my wife," Chief Emeka said, descending the stairs slowly. "Where could you possibly need to go?" Aduni fumbled for her phone, dialing Kennedy's number with shaking fingers. It rang and rang. No answer. She tried her best friend Bunmi. "Aduni, it's very late. What's—" Before Bunmi could finish, Chief Emeka snatched the phone and crushed it in his bare hand. What are you?" Aduni whispered. Chief Emeka smiled, his teeth seeming sharper than before. "I'm exactly what you wanted, my dear. A rich, powerful man who can give you everything your greedy heart desires. I want to go home. This is your home now. You married me for my wealth, didn't you? You thought you could use me, take my money, and run off with that boyfriend of yours." Aduni's blood turned to ice. "I don't know what you're talking about." "My dear girl, I knew about your little plan before you even walked into that hotel. Did you really think Falake introduced us by coincidence?" "What?" "Falake works for me. I sent her to find me exactly what I needed, a beautiful, greedy young woman who would marry me for money." Aduni slid down the door to the floor. "No. You see, I've been alive for much longer than 60 years. Staying alive requires sacrifices. Every time I take you to bed, I'm not just satisfying physical desires, I'm feeding. Each encounter allows me to absorb years of your life force." The words hit Aduni like physical blows. She thought about every exhausting night since their wedding. "How many years?" she whispered. Chief Emeka pretended to count. "About 25 encounters. At 2 years per encounter, that's 50 years of your natural life that now belongs to me." Aduni's hand flew to her throat. She had been feeling increasingly weak and tired. "You're lying. Take a look at yourself, my beautiful wife." He gestured to a mirror on the wall. What she saw made her scream. Her skin had lost its glow, becoming ashy. Her eyes were sunken with dark circles. She looked like someone recovering from a long illness. But why me? Because you made it so easy. You had no real family bonds, no career, no genuine relationships. You're perfect because no one will truly miss you. For the next 2 days, Aduni endured Chief Emeka's nightly feeding, feeling more of her life drain away. But during the day, she searched for the poison bottle and found it under his desk. That night, she waited until his breathing became regular, then crept to his study with the poison clutched in her hand. Chief Emeka lay sleeping in an ornate chair, still wrapped in his red cloth. She approached slowly, uncapping the bottle. Chief Emeka's eyes snapped open. "Did you really think I wouldn't sense your intentions?" Aduni threw the poison at his face with all her strength. Chief Emeka screamed as the chemical hit him, his skin bubbling and smoking. The red wrapper caught fire, the symbols writhing as they burned. "You little fool!" he gasped, blood streaming from his mouth. Aduni ran from the study as his screams filled the mansion. The front door was unlocked now. She burst through it and ran into the night, flagging down a taxi. "Take me to Surulaire," she gasped, giving Kennedy's address. During the ride, she could see smoke rising from Banana Island. Fire trucks raced past them toward the wealthy neighborhood. She reached Kennedy's door and knocked frantically. When no one answered, she tried the handle. It was unlocked. "Kennedy?" she called out. "Baby, it's me. I'm free." Light spilled from the bedroom door. Aduni pushed it open, a smile forming on her lips. The smile died instantly. Kennedy was in bed with Folake. They looked up as the door opened, showing no surprise, only annoyance. "Aduni," Kennedy said calmly, not moving away from Folake. "What are you doing here?" "I don't understand," Aduni whispered, staring at the impossible scene. Folake sat up, not bothering to cover herself, a cruel smile on her lips. "Oh, you poor, stupid girl. You really thought this was about love?" Kennedy reached for his clothes. "Aduni, you need to leave. Now!" "Leave, Kennedy. What is she doing here?" "Should I tell her, or would you like to, darling?" Folake asked. "How long have you been together?" Aduni's voice cracked. "About 6 months," Folake replied cheerfully. "Right around the time I started working on getting you to meet Chief Emeka." The world tilted around Aduni. 6 months, but that means everything was planned from the beginning. Every conversation we had, every piece of advice I gave you, it was all to get you out of the way so I could have Kennedy. Aduni turned to Kennedy, searching his face for some sign this was a mistake. "You told me you loved me. You said we would be together after I got the old man's money." Kennedy wouldn't meet her eyes. "Things change, Aduni. I nearly died for you. That man was stealing my life force." Folake laughed. "Oh, honey, that's the price of chasing shortcuts. What were you expecting?" "You knew this and intentionally made me marry him?" Folake laughed. "Made you? Girl, don't piss me off. Your greed made you marry him. I only helped you out." "But why?" Aduni turned to Folake, tears streaming down her face. "What did I ever do to you?" Folake's expression twisted with rage. "You had everything I wanted and didn't appreciate it. Beauty, youth, men falling over themselves for you. You took it all for granted while I had to work for every scrap of attention. So you decided to destroy my life?" "I decided to take what should have been mine," Folake corrected. "And it was so easy. Appeal to your greed, and you walked straight into the trap." Kennedy stood, his expression turning cold. "Get out, Aduni. You being alive complicates things." "Where am I supposed to go? I have nothing." "Not our problem," Folake said, moving toward the door. "You should disappear completely. Start over far from Lagos. And if I don't, then we'll make sure you do," Folake threatened quietly. They shoved her into the hallway and slammed the door. Aduni could hear them laughing inside, celebrating their successful deception. She stumbled out into the Lagos night. It was raining heavily, and within minutes she was soaked. She had nowhere to go, no money, no friends, no family who would take her back. For 3 months, Aduni lived on the streets. Her father turned her away when she tried to go home. "You chose strangers over family," he said sadly. "You chose money over love." She couldn't find work. News of her connection to Chief Emeka's death had spread. She slept in motor parks, begged for food, and felt herself growing weaker each day. The life force Chief Emeka had stolen was still gone. One rainy evening, as she sat under a bridge holding out a cup for coins, a familiar car stopped nearby. Bunmi, her former best friend, stepped out. When their eyes met, Bunmi gasped. Aduni, is that really you? Aduni wanted to hide but was too weak to move. Hello, Bunmi, she whispered hoarsely. Bunmi knelt beside her, tears forming. My God, what happened to you? I lost everything, Aduni said simply. I made terrible choices. You look like you're dying. Come on, let me help you. At Bunmi's apartment, after eating her first real meal in weeks, Aduni told her everything. Chief Emeka's rituals, the life force drain, Kennedy and Falake's betrayal. I don't think any hospital can help me, Aduni concluded. This isn't ordinary sickness. Bunmi was quiet, then spoke. My grandmother always said some damage can only be healed through prayer. Maybe we should go to church. The next morning, they went to Mountain of Fire Church. Pastor Adeyemi listened to Aduni's story without skepticism. What you experienced was genuine spiritual attack, he said. That man was a true practitioner of dark arts. The life force he stole was real. But he's dead now. Shouldn't that break it? Death doesn't automatically sever spiritual bonds, but what was stolen can be restored through prayer and faith. The pastor and church elders prayed over Aduni for hours. She felt warmth spreading through her body, a lightness she hadn't experienced since before her marriage. The spiritual bondage is broken, Pastor Adeyemi announced. Your life force will slowly return as you walk in faith. Over the following weeks, Aduni grew stronger. Her appetite returned, her skin cleared, and peace began replacing the haunted look in her eyes. I spent so long wanting shortcuts, she told Bunmi one evening. But real happiness comes from honest work and genuine relationships. Pastor Adeyemi offered her a job helping other women who'd been victims of spiritual manipulation. As the sun set over Lagos, Aduni reflected on her journey. The golden prison was behind her, and ahead lay a life built on solid ground. Thank you, she said to Bunmi, for not giving up on me. That's what real friendship is, Bunmi replied. For the first time in over a year, Aduni smiled with genuine happiness. She had learned the difference between false wealth and true freedom. The end.